What's going on, everybody? I am back with another Prize Picks NFL player props video for week one. Going to be breaking it down, giving you guys 5 picks to get you winning some money over here on Prize Picks. As always, if you haven't checked out Prize Picks, would highly recommend you check them out, guys. It is a player props website and app where you can win money off of picking the over and under on things like players' passing yards, rushing yards, receiving yards, pass and rushing yards, etc. Go ahead and use that promo code KJK DFS to receive an instant match on your first deposit up to $100 today. Or you go ahead and click my link down below in the description. I got all my links down there for all prop sites. If you want to sign up, you can use my promo code, use my link to get that deposit match. And if you enjoy the content, would be greatly appreciated if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. Like goal for all these videos is going to be 200 likes. If we can get this up to 200 likes, that would be great, guys. It is free. It takes 2 seconds. So it really does help me out. I'm working hard on these videos. And working hard on the premium content as well. If you haven't checked that out, check that out. That's linked below in the description, guys. I've been working really, really hard on that. That's why this video is coming out a little bit later than I wanted to be honest with you. But I wanted to work hard to make sure all of this stuff is in place, given the best picks. Make sure all my metrics are lined up. Obviously, as the season goes along, we're going to collect more data. But I do have the Prize Picks college football package live. I do have the Prize Picks NFL package live. And the best bang for your buck's going to be the VIP member package. If you haven't checked that out already, check that out, guys. You're going to get alerts from me immediately whenever placing tickets, whenever finding value. I do cover all sports for all sites as well in that package, so you can get the best edge. I'm constantly trying to hunt value. Also, there's some really good members in the community in there outside of myself that are really sharp minds. Some have learned from me along the way. Some already knew a lot when they came in, and we all help each other out over there. That is a great package to join if you're interested. If you're playing week in and week out, day in, day out, you're going to get access to, I do covering MLB, WNBA, NFL, college football, every single sport, every single pick, every single app. So, really good deal, I can promise you. I work a lot harder than what I'm charging on that, like if I were to charge hourly or something, but I want it to be affordable. I want to help you guys as much as possible, so check that out. And let's get into it. Let's get into the important stuff here. The picks. We'll go game by game, as we always do. And the first game I'm going to talk about is going to be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Houston Texans, because I want to talk about the premier running back in the league, arguably. Definitely up there in Mr. Jonathan Taylor. He gets to take on a Houston Texas team. His team is a 7-point favorite. They have a 26.25 implied total. 340 favorites, so there's a good chance they get up in this game and they ground and pound with him on the ground. And I want to be taking advantage of it. His workload is phenomenal. And the Houston Texans defense really is not good, especially on the defensive line. They do have a big run block advantage here due to the Indianapolis Colts with a 20% run block advantage over the Houston Texans D-line. So I think Jonathan Taylor is going to have some holes to run through. We know the usage is going to be phenomenal for him inside the red zone, throughout the field. He's going to get some targets through the air as well. See, just going back to last season, just kind of getting a feel. I mean, Week 18 is probably not the best one to be going to, but throughout the season, 17, 15, 10, 16, 15, 14, 18, 16, 19, 21 as far as the rushing attempts. You look at the yards and then the touchdowns. Pater, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 2, 1. I mean, throughout the season, consistently finding the end zone. And the red zone attempts were there for him. The usage is there for him. I think he can get the job done through the air. I just talked about the run block advantage. I think there's lots of paths to success here for Jonathan Taylor, whether it be breaking off long runs, whether it be getting inside that 5 and punching it in a couple times here. But regardless, with the Indianapolis Colts expected to hold the lead here with a 26.25 implied total being 340 favorites, I think they're going to lean on that ground game. Well, we know the explosiveness of Jonathan Taylor as well, just looking at some of his underlying metrics over here on my premium content sheets as far as his rushing metrics. Really, really good stuff here as far as the running back key stats. I mean, 68.56% snap share last year on the season, 5.45 yards per carry. He had a 44.35 juke rate, evaded tackles, 165 evaded tackles. That led the entire league by a wide margin last year, by the way. Evaded tackles, he had 165. The second in line was Najee Harris with 106. So obviously, the elusiveness is there. 81 yards created per game. He also led the entire league in breakaway runs with 23, just breaking away from Dalvin Cook as second on 21. So everything matching up here for Jonathan Taylor. He's going to get the red zone usage. He's going to get the usage throughout the field. Once again, his team's expected to win the game, be up in the game, which is always going to favor the run game as opposed to the passing game. So pick number 1. Like the over 22 fantasy score here for Jonathan Taylor. That's going to be pick number 1 here. Pick number 2. We're going to be talking about the next game. The Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Detroit Lions. A 48.5 over-under. The Eagles have a massive total with a 27 implied total, and they have an elusive quarterback in Jalen Hurts, a guy that can get the job done through the air, on the ground. Last year, This guy's the definition of a fantasy beast. Even games where he really did not look too good from a normal QB, real game aspect, he got the job done as far as fantasy points are concerned. Oftentimes rushing the ball in for touchdowns, throwing for touchdowns, all the above. I mean, you look at the yards on the ground. Some of these games, 82 yards on the ground, 44, 61, 71, 62, 69, 77, 44, 39. Now, I don't want to completely rely on his rushing yards, though, because obviously he can pass the ball as well through the air. 258 passing yards, 296, 236. There's a lot of upside here. The Detroit Lions secondary really isn't that great. The Eagles obviously are expected to put up a lot of points here with Jalen Hurts being so dynamic, with him being able to pass the ball, run the ball. I want to be taking advantage of that and capture all the upside of this Eagles offense today, because I think a lot of it's going to flow through Jalen Hurts, as it always does. Once again, Vegas expecting the Eagles to put up a lot of points here. He is the dynamic type of playmaker that I really want to target, and I love that about Prizepicks. We can target these quarterbacks. We can target multiple quarterbacks in the same exact ticket. We know that these guys are going to touch the ball early and often, and I think Jalen Hurts has a big game here. I like the fantasy score for him. Once again, with a 24 fantasy score, they're expected to put up a lot of points. I would not be surprised to see him at all scramble it into the end zone at least once, if not twice. Like I said, once they get down into the red zone, he's such a dual threat guy that I really, really do like targeting this here. So pick number 2. Going to be rocking with the over 24 fantasy score for Jalen Hurts. That'll be pick number 2 here. Pick number 3. We're going to be going on down to the Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Arizona Cardinals. And I want to talk about this game to round out the 5-man, because this is going to be a phenomenal game environment with a 54 over under 6.5 point spread in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs. This one's expected to be very high scoring. And we'll kick things off with the away team in the Kansas City Chiefs. They have a 30.25 implied total. We're going to talk about another guy that's elusive on the ground, can get the job in the air. Mobile quarterback, can run, scramble, throw. Patrick Mahomes, once again, in a phenomenal spot here with a 30.25 implied total. This Arizona Cardinals secondary is looking really tough. Like, I'm looking at some of these defensive grades for these cornerbacks in the secondary for the Cardinals. Really not good with Rashad Breeland, Robert Alford, Guidry, Wilson, and Murphy. They all grade out not too good. So I think that the Chiefs are really going to have some success in moving the ball through the air in this game today. It all starts with Patrick Mahomes. And once again, I want to capture the running upside. I want to capture the throwing upside. If he runs it in for a touchdown, that wouldn't surprise me in the least. Another dynamic guy that I want to give myself the maximum amount of exposure to get the job done on all aspects, and that's the fantasy score. I just think it's great targeting fantasy score because you're going to get access to all of the passing yards, all of the rushing yards, all of the touchdowns, all kind of summed up in one. Now, obviously, these fantasy score lines are set, pretty appropriately from a base projection aspect. We're kind of banking on them hitting their ceiling, but there's a reason I'm targeting them, because I think they're going to hit their ceiling games here. Mahomes, 30.25 implied total. That's got to be the highest total on the slate from all the teams. I mean, I'll take a quick look just to fact check myself, but I mean, it's got to be. We see some 27 totals. Yeah, 30 plus. I mean, the Chiefs are the only one with a 30 plus implied total. Obviously, a lot of that's going to be flowing through Patrick Mahomes, if not the majority of it, if not all of it, really. I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire maybe doesn't even get in the red zone as far as the rushing touchdowns. And then when I'm looking at my advanced metrics as far as the red zone data, Patrick Mahomes, as far as the amount of passing touchdowns within the red zone last year, was definitely up there in the top of the league. I mean, 6th in the league as far as passing touchdowns, 26th. And then you look at his rushing touchdowns. He had 2 rushing touchdowns as well. So once again, dual threat. You can get the job done on the ground. It's very difficult as a defense to guard a guy like this, because he can scramble out, and if you try to commit to him, he's just going to throw it over the top. If you don't, he's going to run it in. So that's kind of why I like targeting Mahomes. I like the over 24 fantasy score for him here. Pick number 3. Pick number 4. We're going to be pairing him with my favorite play on the slate, probably. It's going to be Mr. Travis Kelce. I really, really like this spot for Travis Kelce. It grades out really well when you're looking at the matchup here as far as who he's going to be squared up with in the secondary. He's got a 59% matchup advantage being paired up against Simmons in the Arizona linebacking core. Obviously, we talked about the weak secondary for the Cardinals as well. The help, I just don't think it's going to be very good. This Cardinals secondary looks really, really rough. And Travis Kelce, there is no more Tyreek Hill in town. I think his target share is just going to go up even more than what it was last year. And of course, he's always going to have a lot of targets going his way. When I'm looking at my tight end stats, as far as overall, just the key stats, he grades out really, really good in every single category. A 22% target share last year, 7.19 average target distance through the air, 12.22 yards per reception. So he's getting down the field, 60.68 air yards per game. And then when you look at the red zone targets, 16 red zone targets last year. So really, really good stuff here. And we know he can get up and get it. He's just a guy that has a ton of stature. I think he can get the job done here in multiple facets. He can go for a big receiving game as far as yardage is concerned. He could get like 3 touchdowns. I mean, Travis Kelce does it all. And once again, he is the best matchup advantage on the entire slate as far as tight ends are concerned. We know he's a beast. We know the target share is probably going to go up even more with there being no Tyreek Hill. So pick number 4. Really like Travis Kelce. Probably my favorite play on the slate. I mean, it's tough. I really like these QBs because they have the ball in their hands every play, but I really, really like Travis Kelce in this matchup here, week 1. So pick number 4. Going to be rocking with the over 18 fantasy score for Travis Kelce. That'll be pick number 4. And pick number 5, last one, rounding things out. We're going to run it back on the other end. I'm not quite as confident as to where the ball is going on the Arizona Cardinals side with Kyler Murray. I think he could spread it out. But one thing I do know, once again, Kyler Murray can scramble, pass, do it in every single category. And he's the last guy that I want to be getting exposure to on this ticket. 23 implied total. They might be playing from behind. That's just going to make him go into Superman mode here, have to throw the ball even more, have to look for receivers down the field. Scramble, get the job done in any way possible, and I want exposure to Kyler Murray. Once again, this game having a massive 54 over-under. Really do like getting exposure here, so pick number 5. We'll be rocking with the fantasy score here for Kyler Murray. I like the over 22 fantasy score. I think this is low. A lot of these QBs we've been targeting right there. We talked about, Jalen Hurts, Mahomes, these elite QBs, they're set at 24. He's only set at 23, so I think 22. So I think we can take advantage of that. Pick number 5. I like the over 22 fantasy score here for Kyler Murray. And that is going to be my 5 picks to get you winning some money over here on Prizepicks in the NFL for week 1, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. If you didn't know, they do have the Tom Brady passing yards promo here on Prizepicks this week. So if he goes over 0.5 passing yards, you're going to be able to cash in. You compare him with some of the picks that we talked about. I really do like Travis Kelce. I like these QBs. I mean, I really like all 5. It's really tough to pick a favorite, to be honest with you, from this ticket. Yeah, I really do like all 5. But I think Travis Kelce, with his fantasy score being low, with there being no more Tyreek Hill, with them having such a massive total, might pair him with Kelce. Because I know I'm going to get that question. Who would you pair the Brady 0.5 passing yards with? I really do like Travis Kelce this week, so he might be the answer. I think I'm going to have to make him the thumbnail boy. I'm talking about him, so. But yeah, man. That's all for me. Check out the premium content if you haven't already. I'm going to be back with some more NFL content. Apologies for this video being out a little bit later than I wanted to. Kind of a few hours before kickoff, though, so hopefully you were able to watch this, get these locked in. Wishing you all the best of luck on your Prizepicks picks this week in NFL Week 1, and we will see you in the next one.